Hello everyone, welcome back to the Master League, and today is the day. It is finally the final match in the Brazilian Cup. We are playing the second leg today against Flamengo. It's at the Estadio do Maracana, or the Maracana as a lot of people will know it as, which has played host to a number of international matches down the years. It's a venerable old stadium indeed. I actually took the unusual step of going into the competition details to find out what the deal was with away goals. And while it didn't tell me anything about away goals, it simply says that it's a two-legged knockout format. What it did tell me, which I was unaware of, is that the winner of this tournament will gain automatic entry into next year's Libertadores. So if we can win the cup today, bearing in mind we have a 3-1 lead after the first leg, which took place at home, we will be absolutely guaranteed that Inter will be in the Libertadores next season. Of course, we're already underway in this year's competition, and with the league about to begin, we're hoping that we can dominate like we did last year to really put our stamp on the competition and on Brazilian football as a whole. Let's get into the match itself, straight into the game plan page to see who's feeling it and who isn't. And we see immediately that Mailton is not feeling particularly brilliant at the moment. We do have Antunes on the bench who can do a decent job. He might not be as good going forward, dribbling, shooting, not so good, but he is near enough Mailton in terms of defensive ability, and he is maybe a tad stronger as well. He's not too much slower either, so we will put Antunes down in right back position. And I don't think that we have a substitute limit in this competition, so we don't have to change things around. As it is, I'm pretty happy with that bench as it stands. Not going to make wholesale changes. I think the players out on the pitch have done enough to earn their positions in today's match. We'll leave Carlos on the pitch, despite the fact he's showing orange. We can always bring Charles or Cuesta onto the pitch to take his place if he starts becoming a bit of a liability. But that's the lineup for today. We're not going to, as I said, make massive wholesale changes. One thing I will do, perhaps, is look at the strips. Flamengo, white, red and black shouldn't clash too much. White will certainly clash. Black would not clash at all. I'm tempted to go with... no, they have home advantage. They really should play in their home shirts. That will be fine. I'm sure there's not going to be a massive clash. And if there is, well, on my head be it. I'm the one that has ultimate control over that. But here we go. Match about to begin. The usual game tips being put on in the front. When on the ball, hold R2 and press square to perform a high punt kick. These tips are of course sensitive to your controller setup, so some of you will know, some of you may not know that I prefer to play with the square and the circle button reversed when in possession of the ball. So square in my instance would be the lobbed pass, and circle it's that is shoot. Now that has led to trouble for me in the past where I've gone to try and take a shot, and my player has instead decided that he's not in control of the ball, and therefore he's going to slide tackle the opposition. It is yet to give me a red card, but it has cost me a few yellows through my years. Maybe at some point I should learn to play with the standard controls, but I don't know, it's one of the few hangovers that I have from playing FIFA way back in the mid-90s. I do like the circle button being shoot. Right, long ball forward by Flamengo there. They get onto it straight away. We haven't had a touch of the ball yet, which would be slightly concerning, except we have now had it. Here's Velasco. Plays it back to Iago, commanding left back. It's played back to Velasco, who moves it infield to Nonato. Guerrero beaten to the ball there. He didn't use his strength to shield it, and the defender was able to very easily get around it. And here's a lobbed ball. Iago's on it. No trouble for him whatsoever. Into Velasco, and again Guerrero beaten to the ball. But Rodriguez picks it up here, and this could be an opportunity for Inter. Lopez not quite reading what was going to happen there, and so his run didn't really mesh with the pass. A shame, because it was a decent pass. if the run had matched it. Here's Schürr's out on the left-hand side, filling in for Iago. The ball whipped in, and Lomba picks it up and immediately throws it out to Antunes, who gets his first touch on the ball for quite some time. He's been frozen out of the team due to the fact that Mailton, a relatively new signing, has been decent. Well, I'm not going to say he's torn trees up, because we've seen in previous matches that he has let us down ever so slightly where it comes to his passing ability. But defensively, he's been fairly solid. Antunes in the right back slot does a good job, picks the ball up, diffuses the danger, and here we are with Schürr's now. Noticing that Flamengo are doing a good job of penning us into our own half. Not under masses of pressure, but we are having trouble getting the ball moving. And there's a bad pass by Carlos. Finds the second pass okay. Here's Nonato inside to Velasco. Hulimar into Lopez. There's a chance for Lopez if he can take it. Oh, it's off the outside of the post. It's a good effort from Lopez. Well picked out by Hulimar. Cut out Guerrero completely, and the left-footed shot just not quite accurate enough, taking the paint off the outside of the post there, and it will be a goal kick to Flamengo in this, the 20th minute of the game. Ball played long into midfield. Schürr's is underneath it, wins the header, but De Motta picks up the second ball. Here's Rainier out to Pedersen. Nonato tackles him. The reliable Nonato inside to Rodriguez. First time to Guerrero. He's got options here. Plays it in to Hulimar. Hulimar's got a chance. Takes a shot. Deflects off the defender. And Joelson picks up the ball with a lot of the pace having been taken off of it thanks to that deflection. And now Rainier back in midfield. He's got the ball again. There's a bit of a tussle here between him and Rodriguez, but Rodriguez wins it and gets it back. Here's Iago now on the left-hand side of defence. Plays it back to Schürr's, who looks up for options. He's not got too many ahead of him. Eventually, Rodriguez is found. Into Nonato, back to Carlos. Again, at the moment, I would say that Flamengo doing a pretty decent job of keeping Inter at bay. Here's Guerrero, heads it back into Hulimar. Second touch. Oh my word, what a take by Hulimar. And it's all set up by the intelligence of Guerrero, heading it down to his man. Good play here, just knocked into the box, not enough pace on it. Guerrero ended up heading it to Hulimar, who had a better chance. And look at that finish, absolutely levers it. First touch sets it up beautifully. Second touch, the continental style, almost like a continental goalkeeper's clearance. And my word, all the goalkeeper can do about that is pick it out the back of his net. So it's 1-0 on the night, 4-1 on aggregate to Inter. And this cup is looking more and more likely to be going home with them. Antunes into Schürr's. Flamengo haven't lost their heads yet. They're still maintaining this high press. And they're going to have to, because they're going to need to try and win the ball as much as they can. Here's Iago on the left-hand side, looking to whip it in. Low cross, Guerrero getting to it, finds the shots. And my word, they were worried about it. Here's Rodriguez, Velasco. Iago making a run, won't get to it. Goalkeeper clears it, only as far as Nonato, who's underneath it. Rodriguez picks up the second ball, plays it back to Schürr's. Good use of the ball by Inter. Not necessarily playing percentages. Oh, Hulimar just tagged by the defender there. Wins the ball back. Here's Iago. Chance for a cross. He finds it. Goalkeeper Joelson equal to that cross. Picks it up out of the air. And now is looking for a pass forward. He's looking to midfield. Can't quite make that pass stick. Lopez into Guerrero. Guerrero finds Nonato out on the wing, into the middle. Hulimar knocks it up into the air. Can't find anyone with it though. And Nonato and Latanzio now Ball played through. Lincoln's in space. Carlos with him. But there is an opportunity here. Carlos very good in one-on-one situations though. And that's the end of the action at the first half. And it's Inter 1, Flamengo 0 here at the Maracan. We have to say, on the evidence of the first half, Inter are worth their lead. And what a lead it is. What a goal it was to give them that lead. Hulimar picking the ball up from the header. One touch to set the ball up and the second one to lash it home. There we go, the stats proving Inter's dominance in that first half. Not a single shot managed by Flamengo. Inter, however, managing 4 with 2 of them on target. Here's the second half. Guerrero will kick off. Inter will move the ball from left to right in this second half. Antunes, Nonato, Carlos, into Velasco, back to Rodriguez. Inter moving the ball confidently here. They know that they don't have to score any more goals. It's more a case now of just fashioning openings. It's lovely football by Inter. The benefit of knowing... Oh, Guerrero with a header and it's second goal! What a header by Guerrero. What a cross by Iago. And the benefits of having all of the pressure taken off of your shoulders is that you can put together brilliant passing moves like that one there. Hulimar moving the ball out to Iago, takes one touch before putting in a peach of a cross. And Guerrero beats the goalkeeper at his near post. Absolutely no chance. The goalkeeper not even reacting to that header. That's how good it was. It's 2-0 to Inter on the night. It's 5-1 now on aggregate. And it is going to take a miracle for Flamengo to get anything out of this game now. Long ball forward by the defender. Schurz looking to get onto it. Can't win the header. Arrascaeta looking to pass the ball forward down the right wing. Manages to retain possession long enough to win that ball and get the pass made. And now they have a chance down the right hand side with Molinero here. Schurz can't get to it. Header, and it's just gone wide of the post. And if Flamengo were to have any chance in this game, they really did have to do something with that. And they couldn't quite manage it. But it's one more shot than they've managed the entirety of the match so far. So they are making progress. And they're pressing very high up here. You can see every man, or almost every man, marked out. But Iago is free on the left-hand side of defence. The ball's played out to him there. Moves it inside to Schurz. Here's Rodriguez. Nonato now. Back inside to Velasco. Ball forward looking for Guerrero. But again, Rainier not letting him. He's done a very good job of intercepting passes, Rainier. Nonato out to Antunes. Antunes has got a chance here to put one through. He tries it. Lopez checks his run slightly. And it's just too heavy. It goes out for a goal kick. Here's Jolson. Long ball forward. They continue to try that method. Nonato into Guerrero. Lobbed over the top for Lopez. Oh, nearly. Guerrero. It was a lovely idea from Lopez, looking to find Hulimar on the opposite side of the penalty area. But the defender stuck out a desperate leg and just got something on it. But only enough to set Guerrero up for an opportunity. And that in turn sets up the corner here. Velasco standing over it. He'll probably try an outswinger with his right foot. He does indeed. Rodriguez gets up to head it but can't get anything onto it. Instead it finds its way out to Patrick. Not the Patrick that we know that plays for Inter. It's a different one. Or maybe it's a duplicate. I don't know. But here's a chance for Di Arrascaeta. Good save by Lomba. Manages to get enough onto it. And Antunes, a little bit of a dodgy pass there, but he gets away with it. Rodriguez out to Schurz, who's taken up a position on the left of defence. Iago into Velasco. Forward to Hulimar. Iago's out there if they need him, and they find him. And Iago is capable of a good cross if he needs it. In it comes. It's too close to the keeper. Jolson picks it up and immediately springs the counter. And what a clearance that one was. But it's too close to Schurz. And he ends up picking it up and playing a nonchalant lobbed pass to his defensive partner, Guerrero. Lopez looking for the return ball but can't quite manage it. Sandwiched between two Flamengo defenders. And Schurz eventually picks up on the ball and it finds its way all the way back to Lomba. 72 minutes on the clock. Changes will need to be made soon. Iago has run his legs off today and deserves a break. The crowd will no doubt give him a rapturous round of applause as he leaves the pitch for Gallardo. And while we're looking for options, shall we complicate things by bringing on another Patrick? So there are now two Patricks on the pitch. Oh, and that's a bad pass. And this could be a goal, and it is a goal. And it's Patrick, of all people. With one Patrick due to come on the pitch, the other one duly obliges by finding the back of the net. That's a terrible pass, in fairness. What was I thinking? Well taken goal. Goalkeeper couldn't do much to it. But Schurz, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. He tried to make amends, but he couldn't quite get to it. And Lomba is beaten down at his near post. It's a good finish by Patrick. Hopefully that's not the beginning of a comeback. If it is, what a comeback that would be. Antunes on the right hand side plays it up into Lopez, who's now looking to move it into the centre. Guerrero with back heel to Hulimar, who finds the ball out to Gallardo on the left. There's a chance for a cross here if he can find it. It goes in. A little bit too close to Jolson yet again. And he restarts play with a really impressive clearance. Those clearances have been trouble for Inter. Khedira. Gallardo wins the header. Diffuses the situation. Nonato plays it out wide to Antunes here, who's going to look for a return ball. There it is for Rodriguez. Guerrero looking to run onto this. Can't quite get to it. But Guerrero surely. Yes, it's a massive howler. A huge howler by the Flamengo defence. And that very familiar scoreline of 3-1 rears its head again. 82nd minute. It's 3-1 in Inter's favour. Guerrero now with a brace. Feel sorry for the goalkeeper. He felt he had to come out and deal with it. But it was his slip as he cleared it which ultimately caused the issue. Not entirely sure what that pass by Hulimar was all about, but it all worked out in the end. And Guerrero now celebrating a brace of goals in this match. Oh, this could be 3-2. And it would have been, had it not been for a fantastic save by Lomba. Antunes into Nonato. Plays it forward into the path for Lopez. He's got Guerrero inside of him if he needs him. He keeps running. Uses his strength to hold the ball up. Here's Nonato. Terrible, Nonato. What are you doing? But a good header by the defender. Takes all of the danger out of it. Here's Gallardo wide on the left. And he's going to look for the ball through to Hulimar. Hulimar's on it. He's got a chance for the cross. Oh, what is he doing there? That is way too close to Jolson. Guerrero was screaming for it. It looked easier to play the right ball than it did to play the one that he ended up playing. Nonato out to Antunes. It's all pressure from Inter now. Here's Lopez, he levers it. Oh, it's in the back of the net. There was no precision in that shot whatsoever, just pure venom. And much like the England game that was shown on BBC One on Saturday, the Euro 96 clash between England and Holland, the scoreline here is now 4-1, and it is likely to end that way. No quarter given by Lopez. He's seen the other two men up front get a goal. He was determined he would as well, and that ended up being the last kick in anger of this game. Inter win 4-1 on the night. There was no contest really, 7-2 on aggregate. The Flamengo players can't believe what they've been party to here. And look at these celebrations, as Inter have already guaranteed their qualification for the Libertadores next year. Mass Klinsmann celebrations from the players. The manager saluting them. He's only been in this job for a year and a half. He's already a crowd favourite and so popular among these players. The famous invisible Brazilian Cup trophy there between the two players in front. Here's the stats for those of you who are so inclined. A dominant display from Inter, although it must be said Flamengo much better in this second half. Guerrero, unsurprisingly, the man with 2 goals this game, getting the man of the match performance. Hulimar and Lopez both on 7s. Velasco was a little bit loose with his passing, hence the 5. Patrick and Gallardo came on. They were solid but didn't do anything spectacular, hence the ratings that they received. So there we go, a dominant cup final display by Inter. 7-2 over 180 minutes. Qualification for Libertadores secured, a cup in the trophy cabinet, and the beginning of what could be a famous treble for the Brazilian champions. Little bit of a break now until the first game of the Campeonato, and that game will be with you tomorrow, Tuesday the 16th. And before we go, we'll do the press conference talking about the opening game of the season. How do we feel going into that first game of the new season? And here are our options. A strong start is key to taking the title. We'll make the fans proud, or we're ready for them. Well, I have to say, we're after the title, we've won the title, and we won it at a canter last term. Most of the hard work done before I got there, in truth. But I think the key to winning the title is, as it says here, a strong start, and that's what we're going to go with. Start as you mean to go on, set your stall out, leave nobody in any doubt as to what your ambitions are for the coming season. And that's what we'll hope to do tomorrow, Tuesday the 16th, against Chapecoense. But that, as I said, is tomorrow. As for today, that's all I've got for you. Thank you very much for watching. Until we reconvene tomorrow, take care of yourselves. Bye bye.